You're listening to the Hot Seed Podcast.
The Hot Seed.
You're muted. A nice intro. Still muted.
You're muted.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hot Seed Podcast. I'm not your host, Dave. This is Earl. And the silent one is Shawn.
All right, welcome all. I'm Shawn, along with my co-host Earl.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Dave.
We got you.
All right, and you guys know what it is. We're just dads with mics, gamers with headsets, and a whole lot of unfiltered conversation. And as always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seed Podcast. And be sure to subscribe on YouTube, man, at the Hot Seed Podcast. Of course, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you rate the show. You know, let us know how good we're doing, how much you enjoy it. You know, 5 stars gets us into those rankings, man. You know, let's get us up into that top 5 instead of that top 10%. I still like it.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween again. How you doing, fellas? How you feeling?
Earl, you can go first. Take yourself off mute. Everybody loving that mute today.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, I had to mute because I have a screaming child upstairs. So, yeah, I can't complain. Can't complain, you know. Some freaking home ownership shit. Bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Shout out to Goose Island Beer Company.
Oh,
I'm trying something for the first time.
Yep.
Tropical beer hug, 9.9%. Nice up there. Imperial IPA. Nothing fruity about this, bro. There ain't no type of flavors going on here. This is just straight IPA. You either like it or you don't. So yeah, this is a good one. As far as Halloween, I think we either have more people moving into our neighborhood or people are finding out about our neighborhood and just coming to it. I think it's the latter of the two, because we thought we stocked up well. Yeah, we didn't make it to 8 o'clock, bro. We didn't make it to 8 o'clock. I got to the end, and the worst thing to do is have a bunch of kids coming up your way. You're already outside handing out candy. You run out. So I had to run inside for a bag that Cam had got a little bit from when we were up in Hershey and grab some of that candy and throw it in the bag and start handing it out one by one. And then this is me. I scream out because I see people come. I say, my candy's almost out. You better hurry up. Got like 10 pieces left. They come running up, bro. I'm about to break bars in half and stuff. If it wasn't COVID, COVID times I would have done that, Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all running up. I got through that. So after getting through all that, you hear my doorbell. I don't know if you heard screaming in the background, but we get through all that, and then nobody was there. And I go inside. I turn off the lights. I put a sign on the door that I already made saying no more candy. Sorry. And we go downstairs. So yeah, didn't make it to 8 o'clock. It was about 7:45, 1:45. They were still out there trick-or-treating. I sent the message to the missus, let her know, yeah, it's done. It's a wrap. So that was my Halloween.
On the contrary, we still have about 3 big ass buckets of candy. We had 4, and we have 3 left. And it's and we still got some in the 4th one. Like we were giving out stuff. We didn't have our block is like they're so we typically set the trend for everybody decorating stuff, but I don't know if everybody missed the memo this year rather. We went all out, our typical decorating, strobe going, everything else. Me and my son on the porch, he dressed up as Jason, I dressed up as Mike Myers, and we had the little bit of fun we did have for the people, at least for the people who were driving by. I feel kind of bad because a lady damn near rear-ended one of the parked cars because she was looking at us and we were just standing And as she drove by slow, we just turned our heads. She damn near hit the car. Ooh. And it was fun. But we had some kids come through. One little girl was like, nah, I'm not. Her mama was like, I'm not going either. So if you want some candy, you have to go. We had to lift up our mask, man, to get her to come up. But it was,
like that.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. We enjoyed this time. And as soon as this decorations come down tonight, there'll be Christmas decorations up tomorrow. That's pretty much how it's going. That's pretty much how it's going.
That's horrible.
First off, it just means you skip Thanksgiving.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh wow, he admitted it too. It don't mean shit. So he's getting right on over that and just go right into Christmas. Okay. Right.
Well, actually, I gotta cut my grass first. I gotta cut my grass. We do some fall stuff, throw it in there, but I don't do the heavy hitting until typically I don't put my tree up until after Thanksgiving anyway on Thanksgiving Day. So that's how we go. But yeah, it was fun though. It was still fun.
I took my son out trick or treating because they was doing some work on the house, so in the basement. So Michelle had to stay back. So I had the pleasure of taking this guy. My rule was, take one piece of candy and say thank you. Had to remind him of both. But apparently, my cousin told me a while ago, like, yo, bring Shawn over for Thanksgiving because it's a different level over here. I came over there. I was like, I see some kids trick or treating. Man, I came around the block. That junk was flooded, and I mean, everybody was out there. Like, people had their driveways decked out and everything. So it was crazy, bro. So, needless to say, he had a good time.
That's cool, man. It's like go
ahead.
I was just saying, like I know everybody has their beliefs and stuff like that. If nothing else, Halloween trick-or-treating was always like a sense of community. Like, one of our neighbors, they got like a little, bonfire thing out front there handing out kids. It was just pretty cool. We had music playing on the porch and whatnot. So it was, that's the cool part about it. But it seems to be like, as we get older, our generation, I guess I feel like we're like the last generation that really enjoys this stuff because the generation behind us, either they don't know it or they just like, that, it's not as interesting to them.
Dude,
I guess.
Kids don't even wear costumes no more, bro. They come up, listen, forget even a costume. They don't even have the respect that having like a Halloween bag. Right. They come up with their book bag.
Not even with their hands.
I seen hands. I saw one with hands out, and then they showed me their book bag on their back. Right. And I'm like, I ain't even got time to like, who you supposed to be? I ain't even got time for it because they come up in bunches. But I'm just like, come on.
Yeah, me and my cousin after a while, like my son was having more fun handing out candy. So me and my cousin go in the backyard, go get me some monkey shoulder. Yeah, we chilling. Then Rashawn runs back there. Rashawn runs back there because he was looking for me. So came back out. Man, we seen a group of teenagers. He was like, man, who the hell are y'all? Like, who y'all? Like, ain't even no trick or treat. He's like, y'all,
that candy, son.
I came up as myself.
And I want that Kit Kat. Don't hand me nothing else except for that Kit Kat right there.
Bro.
Run that candy bowl, son. Run that candy bowl.
Nah. I don't do chocolate. Let me get that sweet right there.
I will say this though. Saturday night, me and the missus, we went to this Halloween party, and it's been going on for several years apparently. So it's not widely promoted, but it's like one of those things like a word of mouth, and it's huge. We went to the Maryland Science Center in Inner Harbor in Baltimore for one dope Halloween party. I haven't been to a Halloween party in years, man. And this one, the ticket cost, it was $50 a ticket. I was like, oh, this must be very good. And it was 4 floors. They had different bands or DJs on different floors. The drink ticket, you either buy a drink ticket or something like that. Well organized. There was security in the place, but the security didn't make you feel like you weren't feeling intimidated or anything like that, or anything was getting out of order. The costumes were crazy. It was a dope time, man. I think that's the most fun I've had at a Halloween party in years since I've been. So shout out to those guys. I will be venturing back again next year, but safe to say that, I'm a little older now. So it started at 8, about 10:30. We were rolling out, so much so one of the security guys said, you guys leaving already? I said, brother, I am 43 years old. Y'all lucky y'all got me to pass 10 for these shenanigans. But it was fun. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much how this is going. In any case, man, this is the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Shawn, Earl, Dave. Earl already yawning. We doing our due diligence. Happy Halloween again. But so let's this is gonna be a little out of the norm tonight because we had, as we do the pod, of course, we do more things than just talk. We talk about things that interest us, our regular conversation. So let's get this quick hot take in because we're gonna expound on this more this Sunday. But
expound,
yeah. The NFL trade deadline happened today at 4 p.m. Man,
not using words.
Oh my God! And there was typically it's not too exciting around the NFL trade deadline, but it was today. I mean, it began with the Leonard Williams trade from you guys' New York Giants that happened, and then today a team that I already expected. Yep, there was the 2 pass rushers out of the Washington organization were traded away. A 2nd round pick for Montez Sweat going to Chicago, and Chase Young going to the San Francisco 49ers for a 3rd round pick. Safe to say that people who don't know nothing were losing their absolute mind and were saying a lot of ignorant things. Shout out to Mike Tannenbaum, and I can see why you on TV and not somebody's GM. But I thought it was a good trade. They are both free agents at the end of the year. And it's either you get something for them now or you let them walk and get nothing. And so you guys know they talk about those conditional picks. The way those picks work, so they leave, you get like a conditional 3rd round pick. You guys have heard of this before. But you only get those if that particular person doesn't sign a big contract with the team they're going to. So let's say somebody on your team, think about your best player you got on your squad. And they end up letting them walk at the end of the year. They get them a conditional 3rd round pick. That pick doesn't come for 2 years. And it gets null and void if that particular player signs a lucrative contract with another team. So that's when it goes until you're losing them for nothing. So
you're basically saying that you don't feel like y'all could have re-signed Montez Sweat?
No, I don't think he was going to resign. I literally don't think he was going to resign. Because
I really don't care about the Chase Young thing. I mean, yeah, he's been injury prone and stuff like that. But the Montez Sweat thing, I was like, well, that's gonna hurt.
I just don't know what are y'all building around? And I asked that earlier. What, Allen?
Okay, who are you? What is your? Well, let me get your point of view. What do you think they should build around? And what team were you looking at?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, okay, what I'm saying is that y'all have a couple of people on y'all team that I feel like is good pieces. Like, Scary Terry. I like Doxson.
Mm-hmm.
I like Brian Robinson. You know what I'm saying?
If they use them, right?
If they use them,
right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I like Chase, I like Sweat, and I like Allen. Like, I thought those were solid cats. I don't really think I think it's your coaching. Your coaching is trash.
But that's the point right there. The coaching backed the new ownership into a corner because one, they didn't pick up Chase Young's 5th-year option. So now I think he's going to do well in San Francisco as long as he doesn't get hurt.
But he doesn't have to be the main guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think he's going to do well there. But see, he definitely wasn't going to resign back. That they had soured that relationship. Exactly. And then Sweat wasn't going to sign back because the writing was on the wall. Those guys, you got to think about it. What do you hear about when you heard about Washington? The strength of the team was their defensive line. We got 4 first-round picks. Do you know that Washington defense is ranked 29th in the league?
Who was the 4th cat again?
So you got Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen.
Payne, that's right.
Yeah, those 4 first-round picks are ranked 29th. That defense is ranked 29th in the league in defense.
But that's a coaching problem.
Yeah, that's a coaching.
But
isn't Payne either Payne or Allen? One of them has said something after the Giants game.
Yeah, because he said he's tired of and
that's Allen.
So now if he's saying that and he signed him and Deron Payne, think about the 2 guys who are ready for contracts. It's the same thing what happened with Trent Williams. Trent Williams had got tired of the bullshit, and that's why he was like, "Yo, I'd just rather go."
Which is crazy. After he brought that up to me, and I was like, "Damn, y'all did have him. Y'all would have been set."
So and mind you, at the beginning of the week, everybody forget our owner is Josh Harris, and we're gonna talk about this next. Josh Harris is also the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, who heavily believes in analytics. earlier this week, they brought in some gentleman. I forget his name. I apologize, but he's an analytical person. When I saw that, I already knew what time it was coming into the trade thing, and exactly what they did. So as of right now, they have their first 3 picks are all top 43 picks. Their own first rounder, the second rounder from Chicago, which is going to be a very high second round pick, kind of like a first rounder. Then they got their third as well. They got 2 threes, and I believe they got a fourth and a couple. They have a bunch of picks. So you're going to fire the coaches.
Big thing about picks, and this is where it's going to fall really back on your new ownership immediately now, is what you do with them. And that's going to be the thing, because it's not normal that 2 heavy hitting players on your team are gone at the same time.
It just happened to be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just happened to be that.
Yeah, it felt that way. I mean, if we just go back to my Giants, that's what they were about to go through in the offseason.
Yep.
Even though I don't count Daniel Jones as a heavy hitter, but he was a heavy hitter to us because we had no replacement. So even when people sit back and go at his contract and stuff like that, I thought it was pretty smart because we had no other option and we can get out of it after 2 years. So even if we fell into the sense of wanting to draft a quarterback, say this year coming up, that quarterback can sit back and really mature in the league, and then Daniel Jones is gone after next season.
Yep.
Instead of getting thrown into a situation where he's still dealing with the same bad offensive line until they build it up after a couple of years, he's not getting murdered back there. Not saying I want Daniel Jones to get murdered back there, but if he's going to be on his way out, you sit back and you let this person mature within the system. It's one of those things we'll get more into on Sunday. I don't want to go too deep, but there's an art to that whole drafting and building a team. So I see where you're going with it as far as the draft picks. The thing is, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to restart something that was kind of there.
And not to go far,
I think a lot of it was coaching.
Yeah, we talked about it off mic though. We keep asking, how does the Eagles and San Francisco keep getting away with this? The way they make these picks, I mean these trades, they have a litany of picks on hand. So now you're able to, you can maneuver like that. And the coaching this coaching staff won't be here. So now you make
that.
Yeah, you make Washington a very attractive place. You have a quarterback, you have skill players. And the good thing about this is the defensive line in Washington is pretty deep. It was more than just Chase and Montez. That defensive line goes roughly about 7 to 8 men deep, not including the second round pick that they drafted last year, who's a defensive tackle for Darian Mathis. He's there too. The coaching staff, to your point, has not been using them well, man. And it's a team that also has holes on linebacker, offensive line, and they still got to pay their safety. So it's a lot of money to tie up in your defensive line when you got that many holes and your defense is still ranked towards the bottom of the league when your offense is giving you 31 points in a game and you still losing.
And or you may have to figure out quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's wild. So I like it. I love it. Actually, it was going to happen. This was probably one of the first smart moves I've seen made out of Washington in many
I love the fact, just to put it out there, and we'll express it more on Sunday, that the Giants got rid of Leonard Williams about a year too late. But they got some way, they got a second round pick for him. I have no idea how that happened. But either way, thank you. I appreciate it. So
it's
man, y'all suck, bro.
Damn, that's how you come back in.
No, I mean, I know y'all.
We weren't even talking about that junk no more.
I know y'all about to get off the topic, but I just feel like ownership needs to do something with the coaching. And y'all just gave away players that I really felt like y'all could have really did something with. So now y'all starting all the way back over from scratch.
Not really, but okay.
Yes, you are. Your fucking team wasn't shit before that. Like they damn sure ain't shit now.
Man,
you let us beat you, bro. You let the 2-team beat you.
You just making the point right there. You just made the point right there. Speaking, all right. So going from that same owner, this was probably the NBA starting heavy. They barely a week in, and they already starting with the trade situation. This is something that actually had been talked about.
It was started the end of last year.
Yeah, and it actually happened. James Harden was traded from. Actually, first it started with they told James Harden, "Yeah, don't even get on the plane, bro. Go ahead and go back home. Don't do nothing." Elton Brand, shout out to Elton Brand, man. I forgot that he was part of that front office in Philly. Yeah, they say, yeah, don't even get on the plane. And they made a trade and they fleeced the hell out of the Clippers, man, and sent James Harden there. And I'm trying to get the whole trade up right now. But they got several draft picks, some role players, and
they got
PJ
Clippers
Tucker,
are sending. Okay.
PJ Tucker went to the and Harden went to the Clippers, and they got everybody else.
The Clippers are getting a 2028 unprotected first round pick,
right?
2 second round picks and a pick swap. Yeah, that's
and they also I'm looking and they also sending them their 2024 2024 and 2029 second round pick to the they got a lot.
You know what this means? Embiid is not about to be here for this shit because he's like, yo, y'all can have this. Like, I didn't chill. Embiid is gonna go see Knicks. That's what he's.
It says the Clippers are also from the 76ers getting an additional future first round pick from a third team.
Yeah,
hell yeah. I mean, do they think this is Houston James Harden still? I don't get it. I don't. What I thought I was looking at the screen wrong when I saw the trade breakdown, and I was like, they do know this is the Harden everywhere he goes, the place goes down.
I don't think that they feel like this is the Houston, but I feel like they had to get rid of this cancer because it wasn't going to work. But my thing is,
not the Sixers. Sixers are fine.
The Clippers. I mean. The Clippers are like, I ain't gonna hold you. They're like the owners of the Brooklyn Nets. Like when they had KG in them, like they just all in. They got 3 players who are injury prone.
They sure do.
Yeah,
you got. I'm pretty sure Russ was happy to see Harden back.
No, he wasn't.
I know. I'm being sarcastic. Being sarcastic.
No, he probably is because he probably like he gonna fuck up more than me.
Well, here's the thing. Russ has been.
I've been hooping.
He's been hooping since he's got the.
But that's what I'm saying. The attention's going to be on him. He's gonna fuck up more than me. They ain't gonna.
If anything, I think this may. Here's the thing. This may be some drama between Russ and James Harden. To be honest, like you could actually pull out the bad side of Russ if James come out there and be on that BS. To be perfectly honest, like because Russ, even when the other two got hurt, Kawhi and Paul George, Russ was the one that was still balling out and carrying the Clippers during that time frame.
But see, Russ has always been that.
Yeah,
he always puts the team on his back and keeps them in the conversation. If you get what I mean, he did the same thing at OKC.
Yeah,
that's why they loved him there. But you know, when you sit back and you got 2 players that are definitely not playing more than 75% of the season. One, because one is going to get injured. The other one, just because. You know who I'm talking about.
And load management.
You know what I mean? And then now you got James Harden coming in with the soap opera drama. Like, come on, man. And you threw away all that that's what I'm saying. Like, what?
That's why they're the Clippers, man.
Did Kawhi and Paul George say, give it all you got or else we out type joint? Like, I don't
know if they like, I don't know. They could not possibly like this trade. I don't know. Because let me ask, who at this point, what is
I think they did. I think they were fine with it.
Yeah. What is
do you think this changed anything? Between both of y'all in the West. Just in the West. I ain't even talking about going to the finals and taking it on the East.
Well, it makes them a less deep team. If anything else, and in the West, they may make the playoffs as an 8 seed and be out.
They can make the playoffs. They ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. That's. I mean,
everybody's scared of them.
What I will say is that this is absolutely James Harden last team. James Harden will be.
You want to know something? I don't know about that.
James Harden will be in China.
he's a person that will sit back and say, I want to retire in Houston or retire in Oklahoma City type shit. Like, let me do one more go. So
it's what is James Harden really, man? If you look at him, at one time he'll
make the Hall of Fame
on some bullshit too. That's the crazy
that
part.
don't play defense, that travels backwards and shoots.
Did we not have this conversation before about all the sports and how, I don't want to say easy, but the criteria for Hall of Fame, at least to me, is not to where it should be. When I think Hall of Fame, I should easily be able to look at you and be like, you were the best of the best when you were playing. There's no doubt.
Right.
There's no doubt. There's people that just trickle in because maybe they were just like the only person on the team, so their stats is up. You know what I mean? So, but they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. They were shining on that team. They didn't do anything to get that team to where it needed to be. So, I mean, yeah, Harden will be known for creating a patented move that, honestly, to this day, I still think is a travel. And I mean,
yes,
he'll be known as one of the people that I don't know how you draw the fouls that he draws in the slowest motion I've ever seen in my life. The most pathetic showing up to a court after the off season, body wise. The most definitely lazy on defense. Like this is your Hall of Fame criteria I'm breaking down here. He can shoot. He can shoot.
It is,
and now once he went to Brooklyn, he can distribute the ball. So I will give him that. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Hall of Fame, boom.
And you know what's crazy? When he went to Brooklyn, he got to Brooklyn, and you actually kind of saw a resurgence in like the old James Harden before he turned into whatever this other person is for a moment. And I think
no, you didn't. Don't even lie. No, you didn't.
If you look when he got to Brooklyn and he got there, he was playing, because then all of the situation with Kyrie started to happen, and then KD, and then James Harden, we weren't even talking about him. And then and then once that happened, he was just like, I'm out. I don't know at this point what obviously winning the championship can't be his priority. It can't be.
It's the common denominator, man.
Yeah, it's not. That can't be it.
Him? You want to know what? Him and Chris Paul, common denominators, man. That's why I was like, really, Golden State? Like, what are we doing? I don't understand.
But at least Chris Paul, he balled. Like, he never had this extracurrutlar stuff with him. Like,
he balls and everything. He also punches you in the balls too,
yeah,
but
that's some other stuff.
But at the same time, he never shows up in the playoffs because he's never there. He gets injured.
Yeah,
that's what he'll be known as.
Yeah.
Their last hurrah was when they went to when they was both in Houston.
Yeah,
and when Chris Paul got hurt, and as always in Game 6.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that was
his best shot was going to be able to take it back again with the Suns, and the Suns got sick of it.
And he got hurt.
It feels like they're a couple of the ones that I feel like they have become victims of, like, the industry. You ever look at in music where you have a new artist comes out and they may drop like a classic album, right? And you be like, yo, they gonna be that person. And then next thing you know, they start going through label drama, and then they fall off, and then it's like they just start putting out bad stuff. This was kind of like Chris Paul and James Harden. They started off great in their both places at the time, and they just got tied up in like team drama. Now they get shipped from place to place, and then all of a sudden you saw a difference. Like, Chris Paul different, he still did his thing, but James Harden surely was like, look, hey, if they don't give a shit about me, I don't care about these teams.
I will go back on that, Sean. Stay your victim of the industry. That is Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Because remember,
the LA
all
Lakers.
of this changed.
Yep.
When he did get that trade to the Lakers, which I still don't understand to this day.
Yeah.
That was a straight blackball moment right there.
That wasn't even that. This is why they did it. At the time they did it because, remember, I think they were the New Orleans Hornets at the time. I think it was. They didn't have a official owner at the time. They didn't have an owner. and they all, the league took it over. And I remember reading, they were saying something, they felt like that pretty much they were saying that the New Orleans was getting fleeced because for Chris Paul. But ain't that what teams do?
What does that mean?
That's what the teams are doing now, right? They doing it now.
So that's why I said he got blackballed. He got sunned out, basically. Like, oh, here you go. We're gonna make you the poster child of this is not gonna happen, even though it still happens.
Yeah.
Like, if he was the start of something and then it didn't happen after that, I understand. No, he was the only one, and the league stopped that.
Yep. That's
now I'm not here to feel sorry for no Chris Paul, but that's where everything changed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then he could never get right after that. It just went whoop.
And you see teams do it now. Teams do it now. Look at this Clippers Sixers trade. You can't tell me that the Clippers didn't get the short end of the stick on this. Like, who did we get? So that's no different than
they're lucky to get 2 years out of Harden.
Man, listen. And that's gonna be for what? That's gonna be for what? I don't, whatever it is, it's gonna make for good TV, I guess. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna get all four on the floor, to be honest.
They still the little boy out in LA, so I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Way too loud.
Is it what? Was it way too loud? I don't know. I'm sorry. All right. So something interesting is happening right now, and it's not getting as much pub as it was eventually. Well, a few months ago, because some of them have settled, but it's still going on right now. And that's the current strikes that are happening. I believe the if I'm correct, I'm gonna have it the other way. I think the Writers Guild settled, if I'm correct, but the actors are still out. And then now you got the UAW and the pharmacists as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the auto workers. Yep.
Yeah. And as a person who was a former union member, and there's two different sides to it. You got some people who look at unions and they say unions are bad because all they do is collect dues and stuff like that. And there might be some truth to that. Those are the bad unions, just like anything. You always have organizations and be like, no, that's not us. Case in point, you guys are two, fraternity brothers, and you guys much pride in your fraternity, but you guys also know that there's fraternities out there that don't embody what the true essence of being a fraternity is, brotherhood and stuff like that. They just
is out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Out there.
So exactly. So not every fraternity is built the same. Not every union is built the same. And then you got those who are part of good unions that do protect their members out there because the management or the companies are typically getting over financially. And they were like, and on people who are really doing the work. So this all came about really as the pandemic came upon us, and we were all at home watching all of this content and stuff like that. Everybody was enjoying it. Everything made straight to Netflix, and Netflix was booming. All these Netflix movies was going crazy. Some of them we thought were really horrible. Shout out to, what is that, Bright? That one that Will Smith didn't like it at all. It was bad. And there's a few other movies as well.
Will Smith can't even survive here.
Sorry, apologize. But and then we watched Black Widow, and then we saw the fallout of that, and come to find out that these networks or these businesses are making out hand over fist and then some, but the workers are getting their just due. So much so that I forgot which one it was, but the fact that, and I think me and you might have talked about this, Dave, they were talking about the fact that some of them were getting their checks like late, like they were delaying paying them out after the fact, which is crazy. But at the same time, you hear about, names like Bob Iger and these guys out there, his name's the one that came to mind, get these ginormous bonuses at the end of the year. What still boggles my mind how this happens, but go ahead. You got it.
So, I kind of cut it off at what you have on the screen right now. Yeah. But we can go into so many different fields. Yeah. You're going to see Earl shaking his head a lot because I can go into anything in education and teachers. I can go into anything in healthcare and doctors and nurses. You can touch a whole lot of fields. People in the airline industry up there. You know what I mean? Shit, right now, I haven't really spoken about it with y'all, but shoot, National Association of Realtors just went through a lawsuit, and it's all about commissions and the breakdown of that. You know, so there's a lot of different things going on right now. But this is the perfect storm and the perfect storm of an equation. What it simply is staff cuts. Okay. Staff cuts. You have increased demands, so more to do at your job, and you're getting the same pay.
Right.
That is the perfect storm for people walking out. That is the perfect storm for people being burnt out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can go into you know, our friend on, y'all know our friend Michelle and everything. Even in her industry, working in healthcare and stuff like that. Like, everybody's burnt out, bro. Now, take some of these professions, and if they're burnt out, I'm talking about lives on the line. Think about this. You got a doctor that's burnt out. You got a pharmacist that's burnt out, mixing your medicine.
I want that.
Mixing your medicine, but this is what's going on. And it happened all around that COVID time. Now, really, it was happening before then, but we started to pay attention during COVID time because we were more home. We went to work, went home, went to work, went home. So you started noticing, like, damn, yo, what's going on? Why we used to have 2 pharmacists all on the shift and 6 techs. Now it's 1 pharmacist working the whole day and 3 techs, and this 1 tech is new. So we try to train the tech. Like, you're in there, you're waiting in line, you get your prescription put in there, and all of a sudden you don't even get it the same day when you're supposed to have it in like an hour or so. Like, it's wild. But we don't realize how much we depend on this stuff until that industry starts getting hit. Same thing that we're talking about within movies and stuff with the writers and the actors. And what I want people to really notice through all of this, and we can definitely get deeper with it, but what I want people to notice is that the power is with the people. We always think you want to follow that money, you're following the top here. They only get that when the people are doing what they want them to do.
Exactly.
And they want them to shut the fuck up. So I'm gonna let Earl go here because I know he will go in and continue on. But that is what it is. So once we realize the power is within the people, this goes back to civil rights time period. How you want to make something change or something move? The power's in the people. But everybody has to be on board. It can't be a couple people talking about it for a couple of days. No, you got to be willing to lose.
Exactly.
So go ahead, Earl.
Nah, I agree. I mean, like you said, I mean, you said it best. Like, the power's in the people. I think the government, the powers that be, understand that, and that's why they try to make sure and they do certain things that deter people from being empowered. You know what I'm saying? To come together.
That's true.
You know, and that's what it is. It's like you have some people who think outside the box. And they're like, yo, if we put our minds together like this, they can't do nothing to us. But then they put certain things in your mind and say, oh, nope, you know what? I know you're somewhat iffy, but if I say this, oh, you'll be right back. Get you right back here, boy. You know, and it sucks. It sucks, you know. So
and it's key that you said that thing about the government, because I mean they've been doing that since easily civil rights days and stuff like that. How you think the Black Panther movement stopped? Turned us against each other. How you think the whole thing recently with the Black Lives Matter? They showed you how money got funneled, and a couple people went and bought houses and did that, but that wasn't the whole movement. You starting to pay attention to them now. Nobody's believing in it in the whole movement, and then it stops.
Right.
That's it. You just trickle a little bit, put a little sprinkle on it, let them taste that, feed it within the media. You're gonna watch it every single day. Oh, this is the truth, and that's it. And the movement's done that quickly.
I'll say this: there is no pizza party that is going to get these people to change their mind. And if you know, you know. Most companies, I've been, all of us have been in space, but I work in a particular career space that I see this a lot. And that we're going to do a potluck or we're going to do a pizza party to, get up team morale.
I don't trust potlucks.
Sir, ma'am. I can't take that pepperoni slice and give it to the landlord or whoever, to pay my bills. Like that shit does not pay our bills. And it's one of those things where we're talking about the staff, and you even take it to the airline industry. Airline industry still is very much understaffed. So much so that you can see it in the way that they book flights. Stuff, they be canceling flights because they don't have the freaking staff to
Didn't
fly the
TSA
planes.
just get their first raise in like 20 or 30 years?
Bruh. It's like
come on, bruh.
And in the places that's the most expensive to live is where you see some of the lowest wages. But at the same time, you still want to demand people give you full effort when you're not willing to give them full pay for that same effort.
Right.
Because it's just straight greed. You know what I'm saying? It's, again, people not unifying. And you see this a lot of places. Like, I mean, I could even say on the school side, some schools are better than others in terms of how they, take care of their staff. But, we get these things called swag, you know what I'm saying, which is just shirts or just apparel with the school name on it. And this is like people are so they're birds for free shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, this is dope. But it's like, yo, if you really want to show me that you appreciate me, you can show me that and pay. Because I can't take that apparel and pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Show me that I'm worth it or that you appreciate me by giving me money. I remember like after the pandemic, they gave people like a $1,400-$1,500 like just return fee because people wasn't coming back, like just a return like bonus because people was leaving education and still are. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they needed to do something, but that was only one time, So like I said, man,
I'm glad we're breaking down professions because I'll just take you in the world of real estate off of what I just told you on that lawsuit that just got decided. Basically, long story short, on the Keller Williams side, and it happens everywhere. It's not just Keller, so I don't want to just squash them. But they were trying to make it seem like certain things weren't negotiable as far as commission. But now they're trying to make it seem as if people could sit back and not pay commission but get the same service, or pay a very low commission and get the same service. That's why you see these new builders out there. Just to give you an example of what a standard rate is on commission for like listings and stuff like that, you're about 5 to 6% right in there. Okay. The going rate's about 6% because you're paying both the buying and the selling side. So imagine you go do a new build, and new builds are giving you stuff like, forget percent, they're giving you stuff as an agent, $2,000 on a house that is $700,000. Do you get what I'm going? You see where I'm going with it? Yeah. Like forget 5 and 6%. We're talking about, why am I doing this? And see, when you cut someone's pay that dramatically, guess what else is going to happen? Their service is going to drop.
Exactly.
And you're going to think it's that agent's fault, but the agent's like, I ain't doing all that shit. I ain't doing. That's why I tell people up front, and y'all know how blunt I am. I'm like, okay, well, okay, I'll do that rental for you, but where you trying to rent at? Because I got a radius for that. Yeah. I'm not going far out for something that's giving me a couple $100. It's not happening. I'd rather you get thrown to one of my new people on my team or somebody else that is fiending for that business. No, I already can let you know I'm not paying attention to that. I'm not. I got other things on my plate that deserve my time and my attention. So let me give it to somebody else in that sense. But that money will change everything. So this is what you're going to see. And just remember I said it because it's already out there. You're going to see agents, especially top-notch agents, start breaking this down in levels. Okay, well, 6% is really the going rate. So at 6%, this is the service that I'll give you. At 5%, this is what I'll give you. At 4%, this, and they're going to walk it down. You're going to get down to a percentage where, all right, I'll open the door for you later.
Yeah.
Don't call me and ask me no fucking question. Oh, you want me to write a contract? Oh, that ain't 1%.
That's 2 right there.
I ain't doing that. And that's real. Because if you go into your own profession, and I told you that they were cutting your stuff dramatically, things would change. The service would change.
Exactly.
Start changing dramatically to pay, not even keeping it the same, but bringing it down for people that are shoot, a thing I'm dealing with now as far as healthcare and taking care of like your parents and grandparents, retirement wise, you know, and mental wise, mental care and all that type of stuff. You think that you want to deal with somebody that's getting gypped and is pissed off every freaking day? Hell no.
Right.
And when you looking at industry, you'll feel like you're getting robbed, but you can't say shit. What you gonna say? Nah, I ain't paying that. Then they're gonna go through the conversation that I just had with you. Okay, well, we can do that. We ain't changing them.
Right.
We ain't feeding them. You want us to get her up? Oh, hell no. You want us to provide games? Oh, hell no. No, we'll have her right there at the door ready for you to pick up each and every day. That's it. And I'm not sure she'll be clean. And that's what it is. You got to pay to play, as they say.
They gonna learn,
once
man.
we start realizing that in these professions and know that we have the power and like, okay, you know what? You no longer being the boss anymore. Like you on some dictatorship type shit because we ain't losing money. We're bringing in more money, like you said earlier, and they're still getting these bonuses and pay.
Right.
But my pay didn't go up.
Right.
We just discussed the airports. TSA got their first raise in like 20 to 30 years. And these are the people protecting you from certain things going in and out. You think I'm on point when I ain't get no damn raise for 20 to 30 years? Man, let that shit go.
Right.
Yeah, I see it. I don't even feel like patting them down.
He had a bottle of water. He's fine. It was Fiji water. It's fine.
Hey, you know this. The sad thing is too, and my boy, he made a great point. He was like, and I ain't think about this. He was like, teachers and educators should be the highest paid individuals
because they set you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they're the segue or the prerequisite for every career. You have to go to school in order to be a doctor, a lawyer, anything that
professors, yeah.
anything that you want to be, you had to start in school, or just regardless, before you went into your profession, you had to start in school. And why they're not getting paid as doctors is crazy. And then it's
think about a professor that can do that profession and they get paid less than that profession.
Yeah,
to teach you how to do it.
To teach you how to do it. And then it's crazy because like nowadays,
that's a crime, man.
Every year you're dealing with a different type of kid. You know what I'm saying? Like kids evolve, kids are evolving into something. I hate to say it like this, but more complex. I'm not going to say worse. I'm not going to say bad. I'm going to just say more complex. You know what I'm saying? And it's because it's just life has changed. What they're being exposed to has changed. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, it's the things that they're dealing with has changed. Like, I'm not going to hold you. People may disagree, but these kids are exposed to way more shit than we ever was at the age. You know what I'm saying? These kids know way more than we knew at their age. You know what I'm saying? And these kids are way sensitive than we ever were. You know what I'm saying? So if you put those things together, that's a bad combination. And when you think about what teachers have to deal with and educators got to deal with, because it's like, yo, not only do you have to deal with these kids evolving, but you also got to deal with these parents who are young, who they're not the old school parents. It's like, like literally, I've sat in so many meetings where we had to call my buddy who's an officer in the city in which I work with, who comes in and talks to these kids, and he's like, yo, I can't tell you how many times I get phone calls from parents that say that my child is out of control. Could you come out? That's wild to me. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I say all that to say is like, yo, greed people got to chill with this greed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too many industries and there's too many things that is going to fall by the wayside, and you don't need them to fall by the wayside over a couple of dollars. Man, get that to these people. Make sure that they're good.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't even know how we transition to this other topic, but I guess this is so cold outside. I guess, it's a good transition.
When it's cold outside.
Hey, look, perfect song.
So
So they were. I think they. Is this still a thing? This might be showing my age, but is there still the thing called cuffing season? Is that still a thing?
They still talk about it.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
it.
The
Me personally,
changed.
I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Oh man, look, hey, you know what?
Still talking about it.
Shit, I'm still talking about it.
I'm cuffing all season.
But and we're gonna pull this all together because of course, if you guys have been paying attention, and you guys have been paying attention on some social media, you saw ex-NBA star Joe Smith made our timelines as he found out that his wife had a whole OnlyFans, or when he found his girlfriend, wife, whatever they call each other these days.
That's his wife.
Found out that she had an OnlyFans, and then she's recording it, and it struck up this whole conversation about right and wrong and relationship statuses. And you see a lot of just last week they were talking about the first place that you should take a first date, and then you got all these other requirements and stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And then of course a few months back you got the whole thing with Keke Palmer and her boyfriend or baby daddy, whatever it was, in the Usher situation. And I bring up the cuffing season thing because all summer, people out there, you for the streets, quote unquote, and now it's cold. Now you need somebody to snuggle up to. Now you're trying to figure out that too. So I wanted to bring up the question. I'm very serious. So what the hell is a relationship these days? Like, legit, what is a relationship?
I don't know. It's different strokes for different folks. But I would say to that video, I think it was corny for her, first of all, to be recording that, because like you recording that without, like, y'all are having a real conversation, like some in home, yeah, and you're recording this conversation, like you're recording the fact that your significant other found out that you're out here showing yourself to the world without even conversating. And it's not about the fact that like her point, it's my body, I'm gonna do what I want. Like that's not it. It's the fact that like you gotta have respect that you're in a relationship, and even worse is like you're married. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if they got kids, but this is like the fact that you just feel that comfortable saying, I got an OnlyFans. Now, I would have had more respect if you said, if you at least told him beforehand and you didn't videotape it. And if you still did what you wanted to do, yeah, all right, cool. You grown, like you an adult. But at least give that man that decency. Because what if he was out here doing that? You know what I'm saying? If the shoe was on the other foot, how would you feel? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. It's whack. And I think she's corny. She's corny for that. And real talk, that should become his ex-wife because she's bugging.
This is something that it brings up another argument. The whole wanting to put, because this is not this, from what we can tell, this is no this wasn't a skit or anything like that. I mean, you may find out otherwise later. I don't know.
Nah, Joe Smith ain't that type of individual.
Yeah. But this goes to the fact that people's need to bring you into their household, into their bedroom. And there's two different type of relationships. You have one where that particular couple, whatever they may consist of, don't feel the need to plaster every moment of their relationship across whatever medium just to validate that they are together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the others that feel like if you don't plaster everything that we are, then they feel some type of way. And there's this argument on either side, but like at this point, what happened to like the sense of privacy?
There's, why there's no, because you know what the most dangerous drug is today?
Social media.
Attention?
No. Attention.
Yeah.
The most
social
dangerous
media.
No, it's not even.
That's what social media is.
Not even just social media. It's just
no, but I'm saying that's mainly
that's
what
the
social
attention.
media is.
Yeah.
They do it for likes.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like what people would do for attention, whether it's social media or just general. Like what people would do for attention is scary. You understand what I'm saying? It's scary. And it's like there is no chill. Like I guess, and it's sad because they from the old school. You know what I'm saying? Well, we ain't come from this school of you videotaping conversations you having and you're putting it like you're streaming it and you're putting it out here for people to see. Like that's corny. You know what I'm saying?
The reason why I said the social media thing is I know personal friends of mine that I know I've had conversations with them, and every single moment of their lives have to be on social media.
Yep.
And it's not to point them out, but I know also these same people are sitting back and watching every hour to see how many likes they have.
Right.
Now, if there's one thing that hopefully people that are close to me know about me,
you don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck. Like shit, I forget sometimes to even post things business wise, which I got to catch up with and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't need anybody else's consideration, recognition, thumbs up through a like, all those different, because all that shit is fake anyway. Half those people just see that you put up a post and just push like. They don't even know what the hell you put up. And think about it. You'll see it all the time because you'll see people put like a like, and it's a bad post. Like someone passed away type posts and stuff, like heart, all that, and you're like, they didn't read it. They didn't read it at all. They're just trying to be on it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of that is just fakeness because we call it the FB world, the IG world, all those different type of things. Because I will say over 90%, 95% of people are only posting the good things that are happening to them. And the bad things they post because they want your sympathy.
Yep.
But they don't post about that thing that they honestly failed at.
True.
And
they don't post about that thing that they fucked up with, that parenting thing that they messed up, or that relationship thing that they messed up. So since we're on relationships, I'll say it in this way, and I ain't no relationship guru. We all out here making mistakes. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
But I always said it. Communication is the key, bro. When you feel like you're going something and the first person that you can't communicate with is your significant other, something's wrong.
Exactly.
And that's where you got to check yourself and really also check your relationship to see if you're with the right person. Now, you know where this is going to come from, Shawn. I've also told someone that's a friend of ours a while ago, I said, if you feel like you have to change, not compromise, but change so much for a person just to be with them, that ain't gonna last.
Yep.
Because you're being an actor. You're being an actor or an actress.
And you're not unionized.
Wear off.
Yep.
And you're not unionized. And that shit will wear off. I don't know if it's gonna take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, but it will wear off. And they'll look at you like you're brand new. No, you're just going back to being yourself. You can't take it no more. You went back into your regular ways. So they always tell you, yeah, that first date persona is great. It's when all that stuff is gone.
Yeah. And that's
go ahead, Earl.
Nah, and yeah, but you're right, because I remember I was talking to somebody about this. I was like, yeah, that's a front. Like you're getting the best person on that first couple of dates. You know what I'm saying? And then you get upset.
It's like a job interview.
Yeah, and then you get upset. It's like, yo, this ain't the person I met. I'm like, nigga, because this was the person that. But it's funny
I was late for the interview. Did you not remember that part?
Okay. But it's kind of like, so since we're talking about like relationship, I seen this clip the other day and I typically don't comment on stuff on social media, but sometimes when I just want to spark conversation, I'm just curious, right?
Throw that one little thing out there.
Yeah, just throw some bait out there. So there was a clip of two gentlemen on the couch, and one guy was talking about how he was like, yo, he splits his bills 50-50 with his lady. And he was explaining why and things of that nature, that works for them. And then the other gentleman was saying how you're not a man if you're splitting your bills 50-50 with your wife or your woman. And he was like, the guy was like, what do you mean? Like, so I'm not a man if I do X, Y, and Z. So then I read in the comments, and obviously all of the ladies in the comments was like, absolutely, this guy is a keeper. If you split in 50-50, you're not a man. And then the men, most of the men are like, are you serious? Like, this is not the 50s anymore. You got them one couple of men that's like, yeah, I would never let my woman play. You know what I'm saying? Da this. So the thing that had me pissed off, it wasn't about how you split your money, because ultimately, whatever you do in your house that works for you and your significant other, that's y'all. You know what I'm saying? And my question was like, don't let social media and them dictate, because they're not the bearers of truth. You know what I'm saying? What works for you and yours is your business. The second thing too is what I didn't agree with is who the hell said that what you contribute financially in the house is what indicates you as being, or what dictates you as being a man. So taking care of your kids don't dictate you being a man. All these other things, don't dictate you be like, but financial. Because I'm like, so what about those guys who only provide finances but they don't do shit else? Are they considered a man? And then I think I had questions to the women that was agreeing to this, and I was like, so let me ask you this. So you expected this man to pay for your lifestyle, right? You have a job, you have a career, you want him to pay 100%. All right, bet. And in return, you're supposed to be taking care of the kids, house, and everything, food, everything, and taking care of him, right?
No questions asked.
No questions asked, right? I said, first and foremost, how many of y'all are actually really doing that? Because I can tell you it ain't a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to be able to get pampered, but then don't want to, do this stuff that, like cleaning and stuff like that. Now, then the other thing is, I was like, so this guy that's taking care of your lifestyle, if say forever this didn't work out, are you still entitled to half of his money?
Man, I was just saying that.
You know
I'm glad you just said that.
I said, are you still entitled to half of that money since you didn't?
You do realize you just ventured into a pivot conversation.
You really did.
Because they just had this conversation on pivot.
Oh, really? I ain't even
yes, they
it.
did.
But
yes, they did.
But that's
but the reason why I'm saying it, and I want you to continue, but let me just lead into something of their discussion and then bring it on here. Pivot podcast, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, honestly, I don't know where the fuck you at in the world. But either way, they were talking about the fact of, let's say, like you were saying, one side more dominant than the other financially on things. And let's say it came to a part of the sides splitting apart.
Yep.
That manly pride attitude, does it get diminished if, say, the woman is the head of household financially, just saying on a financial level, and they were to split? Is it bad for that man to ask for the same thing the woman would ask for? If the man was doing the same things and providing the same things as the woman.
Well, so the funny
in that context.
So the funny thing, because of social constructs, I'm gonna say because people are so used to, or the norm is, the man is supposed to be the breadwinner, take care of the household and the household, right?
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Now, are there situations like this? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I would say that as a norm, probably not, because like that's what society will tell you. But the bullshit with that is the fact that, or just even going back to the situation, right? What people don't understand is that traditionally, men were the breadwinners, right? But there was a lot of avenues as to why that happened. For one, women weren't offered a fair chance of, they weren't able to work the same jobs that we were. And they damn sure, if they were, they weren't getting paid the same as their counterparts. You know what I'm saying? So back in the 50s, 60s, or whatever, even before then and things of that nature, it was more common for men to be the breadwinners that had the households because the opportunities were just there. You know what I'm saying? They were getting paid more, But now times are different. The cost of living is way higher. The opportunities for women are way more. I mean, is way better. Not to say that is perfect because we still got a ways to go. But compared to 40 years ago, you got women who are successful, independent entrepreneurs and making more than men. You know what I'm saying? And really don't need no man financially. So my thing, and especially if you live up north, up north, it's a two household income in most places. Two income household in most places. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's a bunch of circumstances that are different nowadays. But I just feel like a lot of these people fall into that. I want my cake and eat it too. And it's just like, yo, and you're not even holding your end of the bargain. That just goes into this conversation too of child support, where people feel like they need $40,000. Like, what you need $40,000 a month? It's people that make $40,000 a year. And
who was the person that we were talking about? Who was it with the 200?
Oh,
who was that?
Yeah,
the comedian.
I know you're talking about.
Entertainer.
I know.
And I told you, I was like, there ain't no damn way. And then when you were putting it together, you were like,
yeah. He's a IG comedian, but
he's my Country Wayne.
Country Wayne, yes.
Talking about he was paying
$200 a month. $200 a month.
200,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, bro, do that math.
Yeah.
Do that math, bro. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell.
All I said is, and you guys brought it up, and I knew you were gonna get to this point. It's interesting that even if you had a man paying 100%, they get divorced, she's probably gonna get 50% of it. And two, if you're paying 50-50 and he wanted to pay more, he can't pay more because they probably trying to pay him in goddamn pizza parties.
That boy good with them segues.
Okay. You got a not so breaking news, Dave? If not, I got one that's disturbing.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So this one is going. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is gonna be disturbing, and it ties into video game news at the same time, which is kind of weird.
Okay.
It's I don't.
Not so breaking news.
So you guys know what's been going on in the Middle East when it comes down to Israel and Palestine and Gaza and everything else. And I pulled this up, and this is wild. We're talking about this not even a phone. Well, I guess in this case, it actually happened on the phone, but the dangerous place that this thing can be. And this is from Reuters.com. A graphic pro-Israel ad makes its way into a children's video game. So it says Maria Julia Cisa was sitting down to a meal in her terraced home in North London when her 6-year-old ran into the dining room. His face was all pale. It said the puzzle game on his Android phone had been interrupted by a video showing Hamas militants, terrified Israeli families, and blurred graphic footage. Over a black screen, a message from the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs told the first grader, quote, "We will make sure that those who harm us pay a heavy price," end quote. And it goes on to read that it says Reuters has not been able to establish how the ad came to her son's video game, but her family isn't alone. The news agency also documented at least 5 other cases across Europe where the same pro-Israel video, which carried footage of rocket attacks, explosions, mass gunmen, and so on, was actually going across, shown to other kids. And it also says Rovio. It says at least one case, the ad was played inside of the popular Angry Birds game made by Sega-owned developer Rovio. It says Rovio confirmed that, quote, somehow these ads with disturbing content have in error made it through to our game, end quote, and we're now being blocked manually. Remember what a month ago when everybody was so quick to hit that hashtag, I stand with Israel. And we're now a month removed, and now you're seeing things happening on the side where you got Palestinian families and stuff. You got bombings at the Gaza Strait. You got this going on. People, parents on both sides.
Yeah, the whole refugee area.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's where all the regular people are at. Like, that's crazy.
Right. And now you have, of course, I haven't seen nothing like that here. I'm in there, but it's the fact this is the type of stuff that's going on. So again, to you guys' point, that attention, because we know a lot of people that had nothing to do with this. They hit that hashtag real quick. Hell, even our own sports teams were quick to put, we stand with this, that, and the other. And you fast forward a few weeks and you got innocent families on both sides being taken out.
What's crazy to me? And this goes, we're going to go into the conversation of religion a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of this is rooted in, it's just religion,
religion.
right? Yeah, it's just religion, right?
Right.
Religious wars. Yep.
But the crazy thing is, right? And I do not profess to be an expert in religion. And I would not profess to be an expert in anybody's religion. But what I do know is that no matter what God you serve, I know that whether you're Jewish, you're Muslim, or you're Christian, or everything in between, your God or the person that you are looking up to, the person that you believe in, is definitely not telling you to kill somebody else. Okay? And if this is what you're getting, then clearly you're missing the message.
But
like,
that's the thing, Earl, and I'm glad you said it. It's all about the interpretation of how you receive it. It's not about you being right or wrong.
Right.
But I've had this conversation years ago. When 9/11 happened, a lot of people went after all those people that came in and did what they did. And trust me, it was a very wrong thing to do. There's no way to steer that type of evil. But I want you to realize, while you're over here learning 2 + 2 is 4, this kid's over there learning to strap a bomb to their chest and go die in the name of their maker. That's what they learn from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different mentality. You're learning ABCs. They're learning connect this to this to this, and boom, for your maker. That's why even right now, when they're talking about going into Gaza and invading it, as far as troops on the ground, and Sean's going to understand this, troops on the ground and going through, you can't trust nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Little kids walking up to you, they're a setup. That is exactly what it is. They want you to be over there having a conversation so somebody can come up from behind you. Hell, the kid will kill you.
Mm-hmm. But see, and that's I feel like
out there.
I feel like in some ways that's, I hate to say it like this, but I feel like that gives them the rationale to be like, nah, we want to get everybody out of here. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what's happening right now. And that's what Sean was leading. Dude, what's going on? And I said it a couple of weeks ago when we said the whole thing for the Israel show. I don't want anybody to die and anything going on in Israel. And I want to seem as if I'm not backing them. But at the same time, you're killing innocent people in Gaza too.
Mm-hmm.
They just bombed. Yeah. They just bombed a whole refugee camp. Mm-hmm. This is where they told people to go to be safe. And then they bombed it.
But then
before that, they bombed a hospital.
Right.
What are the people in the hospital doing?
Right. They already hurt. Like, what are you
like? I don't.
But
we got to tread lightly in the sense of, because of our whole communication and relationship with them. Oh, well, we're steering them in the way of not doing. They're already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're already doing it.
Well, the shit I'm tight about. I'm not stopping my mouth for none of this shit, because I think every American will agree with me. A couple months ago, we was on the verge of a freaking shutdown, right?
Not a couple months ago. This was a
month. Whatever.
A few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, we was,
because we're about to be there again in 2 weeks.
We was on the verge of a shutdown, right?
Yeah.
You please tell me, because maybe my math ain't mathing. So how are we on the verge of a shutdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this government has billions of dollars to send to Ukraine. Then we was able to send $14.3 billion to Israel to bomb innocent civilians. But we was but then in 2 weeks we on the verge of potentially another shutdown. Please explain that to me. Like I'm trying to understand this. And as somebody who went to college, you're telling me that when you sit up here and tell me that you can't forgive our loans, I'm not hearing none of that shit.
Well, you're about to see. We about to get into one of our conversations, Earl. Like, you know where I'm about.
Yeah, I know.
I'll just say it this bluntly, and I'll leave it alone. And anybody that wants to have a conversation on the side, hit me up. If you don't have my number, that means I don't want to talk to you. So, but that lets you know that politics is as divisive as religion. And I'm just gonna leave it as
absolutely
as that
blunt. Absolutely. And
separation of church and state.
But that's, and that's the sad part. And I think that might be human demise, yo.
No, I'm not an atheist.
That might be humans demise. Because when you really cannot see and you can't say and look at an innocent baby, an innocent child, and look at them as just that, but you're looking at them as this, which is in your mind justifying you taking their lives, like that is asinine to me. And I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed in Biden. Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed in Biden. Like, if you're gonna be, let's just call it like you, United States, want to be the police of the world, right? I understand you have allies and things of that nature, but you need to check your people that you're sending money to.
Well, you do realize most war, no matter where it's coming from, was provided by us as far as funding and weaponry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about terrorists and everything. You go and track the way that they got the weaponry to do these type of attacks. 9 times out of 10, it came from us, one way or another.
Yeah,
I just
Tony Stark and Iron Man ain't too far removed.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a statement in itself. Yeah, that's not too far removed, man.
Yeah,
we
you
provide
go watch,
a lot.
You go watch shoot. What's that joint with Jonah Hill? And
I
love that movie too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. Yeah. That was a perfect example.
Yes.
Of how this
it's
goes
a
down,
business, man. It's a business. That whole weaponry and all that joint is a bit, and people master it every single day. And that's why I tell people, when war happens, 9 times out of 10, it was meant to.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that just popped up. This is something that's been going on for. Now, I'm not even talking about this religious side of things. I'm talking about war in general. They've been building this up. They know exactly what was going on. Oh yeah, let's just let's make it happen because both sides gonna make money.
It generates money. It generates money. You start seeing you start seeing those government contracts come down. Whoop, we got something new going on. Whoop, see what we got.
Yeah, you see morale going down. Or what was the last thing that brought our whole country together? It's sad to say it this way.
COVID.
What was the last thing that happened?
9/11.
Oh yeah, and that got
I won't even say it brought everybody together because you know what it did do, and this is fucked up. I guess black people black people got to chill for a little bit because now all of the hate went to.
I know what you're saying. But I'm just saying, as a body of people, at that point. Think of the last time before that everybody in the States was coming together. Like something crazy has to happen.
Yeah, for everybody
for you to see. Yeah,
but
you don't even have to go that big with it. We don't even have to go that big with it because you know what?
The Olympics. That's a time when
because countries going after
That's a time when we're not saying color.
You saw Jesse Owens and everything, how big that was during Hitler days.
All we see is Americans, and we going against the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Something big has to happen in that way, and that's just us as humans. That's our makeup. I'm not even saying a country thing, right? That is our makeup. Once again, our condolences to T-Rex and family.
Absolutely.
my condolences within the house, and I know y'all's condolences too. Years later to Andrea's mom passing away on today, and many other loved ones that are out there. But let's be real as humans, man. We don't wake up until things are gone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Think about the reminder that it brings. Oh, all of a sudden you want to straighten out your life and you want to do all these different type of things. Why does something bad have to happen for us to see the light? And that's a us conversation. Something bad has to happen. Something heinous has to happen when we're like, you know what? I gotta get my health right. I gotta start paying attention to my wife. You know what I mean? Shit, think about COVID, bro. Oh, we gotta start washing our hands. You should have.
We go through life, man. We go through life more times than not playing chicken. And you know that's really what we do.
That's it. Yo,
and of course, man,
got bars.
Of course, this podcast wouldn't be what it is, man, if we had taken our Xbox Live conversation. Goes back over 15 years now. One day we get to 20 years. I'm like, dang, we owe, and turned it into a podcast that has become has become to be enjoyed by people. And as always, I'm proud to say this around the world. I was looking at some the other day. I know you guys said don't get caught in the numbers, but it's there. So much so, man, according to Listen Notes, we're ranked in the top 10% of 3.3 million podcasts. So we're in that top 10%, the most popular podcast, which is pretty dope. Something, it's only 3 years old. That being the case, man, if you guys want more of the Hot Seed podcast, you get exclusive perks by joining the Hot Seed Podcast Plus. Starting at $3, man, you guys get the opportunity for getting monthly merchandise, which I actually have a tee going out to one of our subscribers very shortly. Opportunity to be a producer on the show by submitting content and getting the opportunity to join us here on the show to host and conduct business and unfiltered conversation, everything else in between. So that is the Hot Seat Podcast Plus. Subscribe today. You won't regret it and such. Of course, you can find me on Xbox Live. Snap2X. I posted on my IG story today because I saw an ad for City Skylines 2. As much as I love the game, I still realize that it's only on PC right now. Tried to download it on my laptop, and my laptop was like, hey, bro, you need 56 gigs. Your laptop don't have enough. So I'm like, so I'm going to have to either buy another laptop or wait till like December for it to come out on console. I'm not sure. It's like a whole month to change, though. But that being the case, whatever else we got on. Forza is still great. Can't wait for the wheel to come in. Gotta love it. What you got, Dave?
Hey, first off, before I do that, hit me with the not so breaking news.
Oh, we got a not so breaking news. You came out of nowhere with that. I love it.
Not so breaking news.
No, my wife does not run everything within the FDA, but we were sitting back batting our eyes last night to this. The FDA warns consumers about 27 different eye drop products out there over infection risk. Let me clear this up. Forget infection risk. Some of these shits are causing blindness. Isn't that the exact opposite of what an eye drop is supposed to fucking do? And some of these joints have been pulled off shelves. Now let's go back to our prior conversation. Pharmacists are going on strike. Techs are underpaid, and they're supposed to pull shit off shelves. Don't get a fucking eye drop out there, people. Don't go to your local.
Let's wash it out with water. You good?
Grab a goddamn eye. Wash it out with water, bro. Like, don't.
Make sure it's not tap water, because that tap water ain't good for you either. I don't know what to do.
It might be better than these eye drops.
It might get you a bottle of that Boss water or something. Don't use that Perrier, because that should have burned. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, it's real talk. So yeah, they're understaffed. They're highly demanded. Same amount of pay. Eye drops recall. You do the math.
Damn, my eye was just itching earlier. Oh, so much for that one. Throwing away everything.
Don't do it.
I
Don't
can't
do it. You better ride out that pink eye for like 2 weeks.
We get one of them those old folks like remedies, say, hey, let me get one of those Negro remedies y'all got. I love it.
So it's the storyteller, man. And real quick, I want to shout out something I shouted out a couple weeks ago. I told y'all that goddamn Diddy album is a classic. I can't even tell you how many times I have played that album straight through, but realize and if you haven't seen it yet, he just put out there the trailer, which I didn't know about, to the movie Off the Grid. This motherfucker shot a movie to the album, an actual movie. So Off the Grid movie coming out. And when I say he pulling out some star potential, check out the trailer and then holler back at me.
Word. What you got, Earl?
NJ Fatboy 973. Yeah, I think when I first listened to Diddy album, I was like, okay, this is dope. But then I was like, it grew off of me. Again, it's the people that you had on it that wasn't for me. I thought the production was pretty good, but it's the people you had on it. But anyway, NJ Fatboy 973. I haven't played the box in probably felt like about it, maybe 5 days. That's a long time. So I'm gonna get on there tonight.
Bet. And of course, man, join us at 9:30 a.m. Sunday for Football Talk live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Our last week of Football Talk was our most streamed and best football talk ever. And we've been doing this for roughly 3 years now. Come on back with that same energy, folks. It's going to be live. It's going to be a lot of conversation about trade stuff. We're at the midweek point. It's going to be fun, man. So again, 9:30 a.m. live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. All right. Subscribe on that YouTube channel at the Hot Seed Podcast so you can enjoy all of our shows, whether it's our live shows or our recorded podcast. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook, man. Just keep up with what's going on. I promise you, we not, have nothing on there about OnlyFans or nothing like that. I'm not. So for myself, Dave, and Earl, man, we appreciate you guys tapping in. Hope you had a good Halloween. We'll see you next week for episode 130. Enjoy yourselves, man. Peace.
The Hot Seed.